This is the G Talk Podcast, the podcast from young adults to young adults. You can find it on gtalkpodcast.com. Be sure to subscribe on the website, where you can find it on Spotify, Apple, and Podbean.
Like always, it's a common theme. Especially I met up with my boy Andrew last week, and he been going to several like steak spots and all that. And the common theme is that it's a lot of places that are like mid, that are expensive, in Nashville.
I don't think Nashville has a really good steakhouse.
Yeah.
I will tell you, Dalton's is good on Church, close to 4th downtown. But
Dalton's,
that's not really well known, I don't think.
Dalton's.
I don't know if that's the real name, but it's Dalton's on East or something. I don't know, but it's right there by the liquor store on Church Street, across the street from Fifth Third. Hold on, I'm about to find out the name of it. But yeah, a lot of steakhouses in Nashville are not what people think they are.
Dalton's on.
Hold on,
because I'm thinking about that area, and
they gave me Dalton's Grill. No, that may not be the name. Hold on.
But yeah, as I said on the last episode, I just feel that in Nashville, you're better off getting a more consistent steak than because I don't want to keep going to these high-end spots and getting like mid.
Deacon's New South. I have
Okay.
Deacon's New South. I went there with Bridgestone money. Listen, they had the most amazing Brussels sprouts. But I mean, at the time, because I was just getting into Brussels sprouts at the time. Mind you, this was like in 2018, so like 2 years before the pandemic. But they have really good truffle fries. Listen, Deacon's New South is really good, and I think they're very affordable. I think they're cheaper than steak. They're right. Their prices kind of remind me of the Steakhouse by Vanderbilt that's in the house.
My Vandy?
Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about, in that White House.
Wait, which part of Vandy?
No, it's close to Vandy. It's over there by the hospital, by Centennial.
The White House. Fleming's?
Oh God, that's disgusting. No.
Yeah, Fleming's wasn't that great.
Oh no, one of my friends had a birthday dinner at Fleming's last year. We're in 2023, so 2022 was last year, and I didn't go.
Why not?
I don't like Fleming's, and I feel like I shouldn't have to spend money on a very expensive meal that I know I will not enjoy. So I just made up an excuse on why I couldn't go. So if she listens to this, I'm sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, well, anywho, yeah, that was our
Jimmy
pre-pot.
Kelly's.
See, we were gonna go there with the bank, but something happened and we ended up not going there. It's mid.
It's gotten worse throughout the years. It used to be really good, like in 2015, 2016.
I do want to go to Sperry's next.
Where the white people go?
Is that where they go?
I guess.
Oh, I mean, isn't that where? I mean, we're in Nashville, so I guess it's wrong.
You're right. We are. But all white people. I mean, all steakhouses are pretty much.
Yeah, but there's one actually in like Belle Meade, and then there's one in Cool Springs.
What's that expensive steakhouse that just opened on Broadway? Like you're going down
Halls.
towards Vanderbilt, Weston area.
Yeah, so Andrew mentioned that, and
is it good?
I haven't been yet, but I have a feeling
it's expensive though.
I have a feeling it might be mid though.
You think so?
They
said like you're not getting out for under $150 a person, and that's just like a steak, not even including your drinks. I'm like, I ain't got that money right now. Yeah, but Halls.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. See, and just think about it from a man perspective. Sometimes You know, even
that's why it's wild that he said Oak was a first date.
Yeah,
but I understand why he did it, because he's like, if girls aren't used to that, they're gonna give it up quick because they're like, oh, this man really likes me. Yeah. Or is he just running game? Now I gotta think about that. If I get invited out on a date to like a nice restaurant, is he expecting me to fuck him, or is he like being genuine, or is this his standard for every girl?
Or maybe two things can be true.
That is true.
You know,
but I just don't think people are entitled to ask just because they took you out on a nice dinner. Because I didn't ask, like, what happened. I don't really. First dates for me need to be very casual, like a coffee shop or Chili's or Jonathan's or ice cream.
Because that's really setting a bar.
Yeah, and what happens if you set the bar on the first date and you ain't, and then on the fifth date you're like, let's go to Jonathan's. Be like, well,
not even on the fifth date. The second date,
yeah, like, so the second date, where are we gonna go? To Kane Prime, and then are we gonna go to Jeff Ruby's, and then we're gonna head over to Deacon's New South, and then Sperry's, like.
I mean. If you go to Oak, next you gotta go to Halls, you know?
Right. And what's after Halls? Are you gonna fly me down to Miami so we can eat there?
It's funny because Kane Prime used to be like the standard, like, oh, Kane Prime.
I don't like that.
Kane Prime was like.
See, the thing with steakhouses, and people's like, how do you go to all these steakhouses? Did you go there on dates? Hell no. I went there on Bridgestone's Dime. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like,
we have most of my fine dining experiences came off Regions.
Yeah,
like,
and I tell people, they're like, what? I was like, yeah, it's when my boss, who is used to the finer things in life because he came from the oil industry, and you know the oil industry ain't sparing no expense to impress their customers. He's like, find me a nice restaurant. Nice doesn't mean Maggiano's.
No.
Or like, what is that place at by Maggiano's?
Brick Tops.
Yeah, Brick Tops. Or the one across the street. That's not nice. When he said nice, he meant like bottles of wine are $200 plus.
Yeah.
And so I remember the first time he told me to like pick him a nice restaurant.
Dang, shrimp and grits, $35 at Halls.
And I came back with Amerigo's, and I think he felt like offended. He was like, Amerigo's? And I'm like, well, yeah, I didn't know how much you wanted to spend. So I was trying to stay in with budget. He's like, there is no budget. Try again. And so that's when
you said, oh.
I was like, what's the budget? And he's like, there is no budget. He's like, it's going on the card. And so I was like, oh, so that's when I started. I was like, a steakhouse? He said, yes, sounds good. And so Sambuca was a choice one time. Oak was a choice. The only one we didn't go to, the steakhouse, was on top of in the West End. You know what I'm talking about?
That is
JW. No, the JW Marriott.
Yeah, that one is I could have sworn that was Oak, but it's not.
Because Oak's in the West End. What is that? That's the only steakhouse we didn't go to. But we went to Deacon's. We went to a farm, fresh to table. We went to the Southern. But, I mean, we had a special menu that they catered just for us to, like, impress them. So, listen, I tell people all the time, get you a boss who is used to the finer things to where...
Bourbon Steak.
Yeah, Bourbon Steak.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't go there. But
you ever been to Bob's Steakhouse? It's in like it's on Fifth. It's in this hotel. I went there before.
We hit up all the expensive steakhouses downtown in West End except for Bourbon
Steak.
But like this was only for like the dealers and like the high sales reps, like people that were coming into town that we needed to like place orders and spend money.
Yeah.
But like if it was just regular salespeople
in
a team meeting, we were at Maggiano's. Like we were at Maggiano's in the private room.
Yeah.
We were at we went to what's that place downtown? No, Adele's. We were at Adele's. We were at Tavern. We ain't going to like if it's 50 of us, but like a group of 20. I remember I had to go pay a bill.
Yeah.
They're like, can you come pay the check? I said, what? They're like, he doesn't have his card. I was like, okay.
What was one of the most expensive checks?
The most expensive checks I saw, like just a random restaurant.
Yeah, like when you went to go pay the bill, like how much was it?
Upwards of $8,000.
Really? See, and that's kind of wild when you think.
But
about
that was a special occasion. That was like people that came in from overseas, like people from Japan.
Okay.
And that like we weren't invited to that.
Okay.
And the only reason I got to go because I had to pay because I had the card. I had 3 credit cards actually. I had a big job and I lost it. Fuck. Now I work at the state.
Yeah, I mean,
but Bridgestone was fun. I mean, even out of town, I had some of the best food out of town.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you just tell me you balling out.
Yeah, we went to the most expensive steakhouse in Orlando, Florida. I don't know what it's called, but them steaks were like huge and they were like $80.
Were they like wrapped in gold? Have you seen videos of that?
That could have been an option.
Yeah, my brother, like he's in the car sales industry, and apparently they had a good year. He was posting on his social media. I'm like, and he showed the tab like $3,000. I'm like, all right, okay, big spender.
Yeah, but I really want to feel like the AK was more so like wine and drinks, and when you spent, I mean, for a team dinner, I've spent upwards of $2,000 at a trade show for a team dinner.
Yeah, I mean,
and we were at a basic ass Mexican restaurant because I'll tell you what about these RSMs, these sales guys. They're used to drinking with their customers to get them loose. And so they just kept drinking and kept drinking and kept drinking and kept drinking. I'm like, damn, like I'm cutting y'all off. This check is $2,000. My budget was like $1,800. And so I just went to my boss and she's like,
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah, you know, those are good days, you know.
Good days, eating on the company's dime.
Yeah. So if you are in a job that allows that, definitely take advantage of it. Don't be
modest when ordering.
One thing that used to piss me off. So I went from West End. Modest. So look, I went from West End to like, you know, North Nashville. And my manager on West End, man, he was like, "Oh yeah, whatever, yeah, expensive, cool, whatever." But then my manager in North Nashville was like, "Oh my gosh, you know, don't spend so much." I'm like, "This ain't our money. We're $1 billion bank."
$1 billion. These executives are making $1 million plus. And $8,000 is nothing to them.
That, and have you seen the last quarterly earnings? We made hundreds of millions of dollars.
The one thing I would tell you corporations will do, they will skim on marketing and advertising, but they will not skim on a good meal to treat their high ups and impress their customers. That is one thing they're not skimming on.
Yeah, because it's worth it.
It is worth it because you spend $8,000, you get $60 in return. Like that's the difference between a customer ordering a lot of fucking Michelin and Goodyear versus Bridgestone Firestone. Like, and if you piss them, and that's the thing, like, especially in the tire industry, if you piss your customer off, you gotta work to get them back on your good side.
Yeah, you have to get on your knees.
Especially if it's like a customer that has a lot of branches.
Yeah.
In like the South.
Yeah, I mean, hell, my favorite. So you know, I was pretty good at selling like insurance and referring people to like the FA. So in the security industry, in the money management world, that's literally like.
Yeah, your bread and butter.
Like
you gotta impress them.
So the steakhouse people, I mean I said steakhouse people, the wholesalers, those were those people. They literally was their job. They covered territory. They want you to sell their product. And you know, you gotta think about it like they like Regions wasn't the only bank.
Yeah. Right. You have the Third, you have Truist, which was SunTrust back in the day.
So yeah, so now you got these banks who got a stronghold on Nashville's market. So it's like, yeah, like
you gotta spend money.
Well, you've been selling. Matter of fact, let's get the whole team. Come on,
yes.
Order whatever you want.
Exactly.
Just make sure you push this product.
Don't be modest. I remember we had a new teammate, and she's like, "Well, I don't want to." I said, "Girl, this is the card it's getting paid on." They don't care. I said, if you want a beer and a glass of wine, get both. If you want a dessert, get it. If you want an appetizer, get it. If you want I said, the worst that can happen is just like you don't eat it and you take it to go. She's like, well, I don't want to be greedy. Don't care. Order it.
Yeah. Well, those were the good days, but.
Yeah. She's like, should I get a bottle of wine that no one else will drink? Yeah.
But I also do kind of want to bring back that Nashville steak tour, though. Maybe like once every other month, go somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
Or maybe not even steakhouse, just some nice little restaurant. You ever been to the Optimist?
What is Optimist?
Well, you won't like it. You don't like seafood.
No, I hate seafood. It makes me sick.
Whatever, man. That was where I first tried oysters, but
I mean, I went to Eddie V's with Bridgestone, but obviously it wasn't here because we were out of town.
I went to Eddie V's and I got a steak. It was pretty good.
Really?
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. I think I got chicken when I went because I told them I was allergic to seafood. So, I'm not allergic. I just tell people that because it's easier than explaining why I don't like the texture of seafood. So I just tell people I'm allergic.
Yeah.
Remember when I told you I wasn't really allergic? Remember I told you I was allergic, and then I was like, actually, I'm not allergic. I just don't like it.
Oh.
You were not. He's like, why did you say that? I was like, because it's easier. Like explaining to people why I don't like the texture of like shrimp and crab legs and.
Well, you say you don't like it.
No, and then I have to explain the texture issue and.
All right, but whatever.
So I mean, I explain like sometimes I feel bad. It's a little white lie. I told someone like I can't even be around seafood without like breaking out.
Yeah, I'm about to say because that can affect other people. Because now we're gonna feel bad for potentially ordering seafood when.
But I told you I was allergic. Not I couldn't be around it. I told someone else I didn't want to be around it because they didn't want to change the restaurant.
It's different levels though.
Pissed.
There's different levels of it.
They want to go to Juicy Seafood. I'm like, I don't want to go to Juicy Seafood. So I just lied and said I'm allergic. I can't be around it. Like,
yeah, I'm not a fan of like that bag, the seafood in the bag stuff. It's too messy.
I'm not a fan of seafood.
I don't like that. Seafood's cool.
Yeah.
I love me some oysters. Oh. Nice and raw.
Ew, that's so disgusting.
But I like them charbroiled.
I don't know if that
preferably.
is.
You know, just put them like they're not raw, but they're like grilled. Pretty good. All right. Well, sorry for our little tangent. I'm sure if you were in the or are in the corporate world where you get to eat on corporate dime, then
spend that card, swipe that card.
I'm telling you, do not feel bad.
And if you're someone that plans the dinner, plan the expensive one.
Guess what? They will be all right.
They prefer expensive unless they give you a budget. If they give you a budget, then obviously stay within the budget. But if they don't give you a budget, that's your go-to. That they want something expensive.
Especially if you bust your ass for that company, like you like definitely deserve that shit.
And another thing is, I always tipped like 30%, and they didn't care.
Yeah, you know, because I remember when I was using, you know, like milking it. They're like, yeah, just make sure you leave a tip. I'm like, oh, yeah.
I remember one time I was like, oh, yeah, they already did the tip. He's like, leaving an additional 10. I was like, okay.
All right.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, so yeah, don't be, you know, don't be modest and just know at the end of the day they can just let you go.
They can afford it because, let me tell you.
Well, and they can just let your ass go.
Oh, right. They will let you go at the end of the day because one thing they're not going to cut back on are the expensive meals. One thing they will cut back on is that marketing budget. Mm-hmm. They're going to cut marketing before they cut your expensive meals.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind.
Yeah. All right, anywho, welcome to the G Talk podcast. We have a special edition in the building. You heard a voice. We have Kearston in the building.
Hello.
In honor of it being January, this is also known as the Founders Day month.
The most important sorority. Oh shit! There's three. There's three.
Not you throwing shade already.
January 15th is the most important.
Oh hell! Day. Here you go. Well, just want to let you know that tomorrow is a national holiday. We are the first to pop it off. You know, you got to start with the best. You got to start with your best foot forward.
So we're gonna pop it off the Kappas.
Oh yeah. J5 is tomorrow, celebrating 112 years.
Whoop, whoop.
We were founded at Indiana University in Bloomington, Indiana, way back in 1911.
Whoop, whoop.
And I went to Bloomington in 2014. It wasn't shit there then. So.
It's just a college town.
Putting it into perspective, it really makes you look at it and say, wow, you know, 10 young college men founded something that 112 years later is still standing. But yes, we're going to hit you with a Greek pod. You know, this is actually the first time I ever did one of these.
Oh, really? I'm the first.
Yeah, like.
I'm a trendsetter. Because this was my idea.
Okay, yeah,
this was my idea, so let's just put that out there.
Okay, yeah, it was Kearston's idea, and
co-producer.
yeah.
Or am I the producer and you're the co-producer?
So we got some changes coming in 2023. But so yeah, we're gonna just kind of give you a brief, well, really in-depth view because we're kind of unique when you say when it comes to the Greek world.
We are. We're like unicorns.
Right.
So just we'll explain why.
So for context, I'm 29 years old. Kearston, how old are you?
Oh, how old am I?
They're 31.
Oh my God, yes, I'm 31. I had to think about that.
Yeah, Kearston took like 8 shots before she...
I'm completely sober.
Is that damn Coke you got?
Yeah, I mean, McDonald's Coke is made of cocaine.
Hell, you put some Jack in there, didn't you?
No, I'm not drinking, unfortunately.
You know what? This year, mark me now, and I already told Veronica that I'm not going to drink as much this year. And if anything, really the main thing is laying off hard liquor.
Welcome to the club. Welcome to the club of not drinking.
So yeah, we definitely got to try some breweries out too, just like some craft beer here and there.
Yeah. I don't think I've had alcohol since Nashville's.
No.
Oh, you're right. Actually, let me shut up. I did have alcohol after that, but really the last time I drank was at Nashville's.
And those weren't really like straight shots. It was like mixed. So
we had shots here and then in the car, and then
when I'm talking about like
at the place, yeah, it was mixed.
Well, no,
drinks.
I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it wasn't like straight alcohol.
That's true. That is true. I haven't had shots.
Right, since Nashville's. And that was October.
Yeah, but when you tell people you're not drinking, especially if you're a woman, like the first question they ask you is like, are you pregnant? What the fuck?
I mean, that is legit.
No, but I literally told someone I'm not drinking, and they're like, are you pregnant? I'm like, I will have to be having active sex to be pregnant. And clearly, I've been on a celibacy kick for years now. So, no. I just don't want to drink. Like, people don't like you saying you just don't want to drink. Like, they have to have a reason. I'm like, what other reason do you need besides I don't fucking want to?
Well, that's a good conversation because as a young adult, I've actually tried to like cut back, and it's hard. Not just on my end, but just like the environments I'm around. I remember I wasn't gonna drink any hard liquor, the whole week. I'm at the barbershop. And
you drink at the barbershop?
Yeah, like we be getting.
That's what happens in barbershops?
It depends. Mine, it's a little different. But here I am just chilling at the barbershop, minding my business. Oh man, take a shot. I'm thinking, what?
Sorry.
But mind you, that's not an every time thing, but it just so happened that the week that I wasn't trying to drink.
Your barber, does he take shots with you?
It wasn't even a barber. It was
a random person?
Yeah, because it's like a community, people in the community. And like someone came in, yeah, man, I got this done. Who let it? Well, man, I'm just like.
You know what I just thought about?
What?
A barbershop salon type thing would be good like as a dating app. Like, you know how many, like, single men go to a barbershop and get their hair cut? You know how many single women go to the salon and get their hair done? Like, I remember telling someone, like, tag the guys you're cutting if they're single. Like...
I mean, they're not always single, though.
A lot of them are. It depends on what barbershop.
I'm about to say, I'm going to let you know, barbershop really ain't the best place to...
Why not? Y'all gotta... Even the wholesome ones go in there and get their hair cut.
Well, I'm just saying, like...
I'm not saying go in there and meet guys. I'm just saying if there was like a Nashville IG page where people are like...
And just tag people?
That are single.
Oh, that
But you remember the Nashville Facebook group, the singles?
Oh, gosh.
Oh, that was fucking terrible.
Yeah, that was kind of nuts.
Because people were lying about like
who
they truly were. Like,
and also it was real messy because...
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like somebody who...
Yes, it was very messy.
Yeah, and I was like,
Yeah. Actually, I scratched that. It's gonna get messy. No,
exactly. Like,
scratch that.
That nigga ain't single. That I was like,
scratch that. Scratch it because you niggas like to lie.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's like I've tried many times, and sometimes it's hard
to not drink
from my environment. Like even with me trying to not drink, like you say, a lot of people disregard you saying that.
And then that's when I get really fucking rude with them.
Yeah,
because
And I will say now I've gotten better with it because
my no's are definite.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
No's a complete sentence. No.
Back in the day, I used to push the envelope. I'm like, man, why not? Man, come on. Because I just associated drinking with fun. Mm-hmm. But, now you get older, that's not the case always.
Oh, I went off on somebody one time and made them feel super bad for offering me a drink. I was just went off on them. I was like, so... And then they're like, okay, yeah, get away from me. Yeah. Now I made you feel stupid. After I told you no, because my no's are definite. My no's are like, I remember I was doing the cotillion with ADO when I was in high school, and we had the talk, And the talk just consisted of no means no. No doesn't mean no. And no doesn't mean no, maybe. So ever since I got that talk, it's like and she's like, your no's are definite. And that's where I got that saying from. And so like, no means no, motherfucker. So
yeah.
Don't ask me to drink. I'm going to tell you no.
And those out there, if someone says no, just disrespect it. And
yeah, don't be a loser. Don't be lame.
And, people make their own decisions, so just let them make their own choice.
Yeah, and them not like unless you're trying to get them drunk to like take advantage of them, like why are you disrespecting them?
Yeah.
And don't do that. Like don't offer.
And also, people don't
so they can loosen up and you can take advantage of them.
Like people don't drink at the same level that you do either, so you got to keep that in mind. So right. just keep that in mind. And
I'm a slow drinker.
Well. So
I remember when you and Veronica laughed at me at that one time. We were at Germantown Pub, and they're like, "What do you want to drink?" I said, "Water."
Oh yeah, that was hilarious.
But I really did want water.
Yeah, but like, what you want to drink?
Water.
I mean, we already know water, but like, what do you want to drink?
No, I don't even know what I ended up with. Probably a beer.
But looking back, that was kind of we were kind of pressuring you.
That was rude.
Yeah,
I forgive y'all though. No, okay. Seriously, I was not offended. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I mean, we thought it was hilarious too, but But anywho, let's get this news week. It's gonna be a quick one, because actually I recorded this past New Year's Eve, and episode's out right now. It's hilarious. So check it out. First episode of the year. We wildin'.
Take your girl to Oak as a first date.
Do not do that because you gotta only go up from there. Also, dating in the friend group is kind of tricky.
Don't do it.
It's tricky though.
Don't do it.
Because, actually, it's sensitive.
Yeah. So we won't get into that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't do it.
Well, don't lie about it.
Don't lie about it, and don't do it unless you can just be like, if you want to fuck, then that's one thing. With like, and you're not gonna get feelings, but if you are like if you seriously want to date someone because you are establishing feelings, don't do that. But if you just want to be like a friends with benefits and like it's going nowhere because you're not romantically like inclined to like each other, then I think that's fine.
Yeah. Anywho, Damar Hamlin, safety for the Buffalo Bills.
Let me see if they have any more.
Is he safety or defensive? No,
he's safety.
Yeah. Damar Hamlin, safety for the Buffalo Bills. He had collapsed Monday Night Football. He had cardiac arrest. Mm-hmm. He had to be resonated back on the field, and he is now at University of Cincinnati's hospital. He's still in critical condition as of Wednesday at 7:35 p.m. Central Time.
But a family rep said like he's trending positively. Like he showed signs this morning that the doctors felt like he showed signs that the doctors needed him to show to give them optimism. He's not out of the woods yet. Mm-hmm. They said he has a long way to fight. So of course the family knows more information than we do. Like, of course, the NFL and the Bills organization, the family probably knows way more than we do, which obviously is expected because you need to like respect privacy and stuff. And so, but the family is optimistic on how he's doing. And then they also said he was breathing like he needed the ventilator 100%, and now he only needs it 50%. And they put him on his stomach to kind of give his lungs a break, but he's still like sedated, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah, in a self-induced, not a self-induced, hospital-induced coma. But I don't know the medical terms. But I hope he makes a full recovery. And my line sister and friend Michaela said something really important on. She's a nurse, and she said something really important on Twitter. And she was like, physicals aren't enough. Like we need to start doing heart tests and like start running like what's that? Cardiology tests on athletes, because she's like, there's been so many athletes in like high school and college that have just fallen dead out of nowhere because they had an undiagnosed heart condition. And she's like, to just ensure all player safety and the peace of mind of like coaches and parents and teammates, physicals should not just be like, okay, you can run, you're in good health, you should also be doing a heart test to see if there's underlying conditions.
Yeah. And he's only 24 years old.
That's the crazy part. And she said, like, most cardiac arrest in young adults is due to a undiagnosed heart disease or heart problem or something.
Yeah.
And so she's like, young adults just don't drop dead.
Yeah.
Unless you have an undiagnosed issue.
Yeah. So hopefully, all is well. Mm-hmm. Also, Skip and Shannon, I think they about to part ways.
Well, Skip he's just said some shady shit over the last.
Have you seen
I saw the clip this morning. I watched it live.
Yeah.
I felt like at first, like
it got pretty tense.
Yes, and he's like, and Shannon, all he said was like, Skip said something. Skip made a tweet. Skip needs to delete the tweet. And he was like, I stood by what I said. Like, okay, I'm not someone that's gonna counsel someone like that. I understood what he was trying to say. Like, he was like, what happens to the standings? But it doesn't matter. Yeah, he should have kept the standings and where we go from here and just said pray for DeMar. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Because you think the Bills are going to be like, man, am I going to play on my home turf or am I going to have to travel for the first week of the playoffs? They're worried about their fucking friend. They may not even want to play. Like, how's this going to impact the rest of their season? Because I was telling someone, they're like, oh, just give it a few days. They'll be okay. But like being someone, I'm not a therapist, but I do communications for mental health and substance use. And so I had to do a lot of trainings. And one thing I've learned through trainings is like when they literally watched their teammate die on the field because his heart had to be,
they had to do CPR.
Restarted. And so basically they did see him die. And after a traumatic event like that, you just don't recover in 2 or 3 days. And the worst thing you can do is put people out on a football field when their mental is not 100%. They can get themselves hurt. They can get their teammates hurt. They can get other players hurt. And we can end up in another life-threatening situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you just can't overcome that. Yeah. That's why players take, if they have a death in the family or something, I think it's wild that they play through that. That's me telling someone, oh, your friend just passed away in a traumatic event. Oh, you get a week to get over it. We all know, we've all had someone pass away. Mm-hmm. And we all know that it doesn't take just a week or a few days to get over it. I mean, people are still dealing with that shit. Years, months, weeks later. And so expecting grown men, and we are all about, well, grown men need to work on their mental health. We want grown men to work on their mental health. And then you're telling them to get their ass out on the field so you can get your fantasy ratings and be entertained. You don't see
what's the name of the book you read about football?
Oh, The $1 Million Slave. I think everyone should go read $1 Million Slave. It is life changing. I read that in college, and I took an athlete class.
Well, yeah, I mean, baseball is my favorite sport, but I just feel with the NFL,
is it worth it?
It really ain't. If you think about it, especially.
Is it worth it?
Compared to other sports, you got these ex-baseball players. They fine, happy-go-lucky. Ricky Henderson, he's 60-some years old. You got Ken Griffey out here. You got all these other athletes who, from the MLB, and they're thriving. You don't really hear too much craziness with them. Normally their mental's good. Mm-hmm. You don't really... hear that, but it's a lot of matter of fact, it's this ex-Jaguar player died recently. Yesterday or 2 days ago. He was only 30 years old.
Oh, I think I saw that. And the crazy thing is ESPN, Mila Kunis, I can't think of her name, but she's on ESPN. She said she was talking to a former player. He doesn't have a fucking pension because he hasn't been in the league 5 years. He doesn't have, if he's done, he doesn't get the 5-year health insurance after he's done because he hasn't been in the league 5 years. What the fuck?
Yeah, and the average, I think average career or NFL lifespan is 4.5 years.
2, isn't it 2?
Shit, damn it.
Because each year you have about 300 players entering the draft. They got to make rooms on some teams, so some people have to get. But I think it's just crazy that the NFL, after you retire, only offers 5 years of health insurance, but you have to.
Oh shit! It's 3.3 years.
Yeah, it's short.
Yeah.
And so I don't know because I truly believe in the power of prayer, and I do in my heart believe that he's going to make a full recovery. I just don't know how you come back from that.
Yeah, I mean,
to get back on the field. But
you know what the messed up part about it though is that he might feel like he has to.
And I hope he has people in his ear saying he doesn't.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you don't have to. I hope he doesn't feel like he has to for the money. Because is it worth it? Is it worth it? I know it's...
But like, you know, unfortunately, that's not for us to decide.
Right. It's for him and his family to talk through.
Yeah. But, you know, hopefully with this, maybe they might create a position for him, you know, like not on the field or something. You know, personnel. Just... Yeah.
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 I think the Bills will take good care of them. I've been to New York City, but I've never been to Buffalo. And people say Buffalo is a great sports town. I just feel so bad for that city because they had the winter storm. People were freezing their cars. People were dying. And now this, like they've been through in the shooting earlier in the summer of 2022. That city has just been through so much. And like, how much more can you take as a city?
Yeah.
And so, but yeah. Prayers out to his family, to his teammates, coaches, staff, everyone.
Yeah, prayers to DeMar Hamlin. Mm-hmm. Rest in peace to Gangsta Boo. I'm not gonna put Kearston on the spot, but you know,
I didn't know who she was. I'm just go ahead and say it. Y'all have to understand. I grew up in the suburbs.
You have to defend yourself. It's okay. It's okay.
Listening to like Britney Spears and NSYNC and Jessica Simpson and Backstreet Boys, 98 Degrees.
It's okay.
Club 7. You remember S Club 7?
I do not.
Excuse me? S Club 7 on like ABC Family. S Club. Ain't no like a S Club.
I mean, I probably know, but it's been so long. But
yes, R.I.P. They said it was like a drug overdose.
I think it was fentanyl.
Y'all.
But her real name was Lola Chantrell Mitchell, better known by her stage name, Gangsta Boo. You know, she was part of 3 6 Mafia, for those who don't know. Born
3 6 Mafia was only 3 people.
Born in 79.
How did they come up with the name for 3 6 Mafia?
Well, let's see. 3 6 Mafia is an American hip hop group from Memphis, Tennessee, formed in 1991. Emerging as a horror-themed underground hip-hop group, they will successfully go and enjoy mainstream success. The group's 1995 debut album, Mystic Styles, will go on to be an influential cult classic. They have released music on independent labels such as Prophet Entertainment and their own Hypnotized Minds label, as well as Relativity, Loud, and Columbia Records. But yeah, DJ Paul, Juicy J, Koopsta, Nika, Gangsta Boo, Lord Infamous, and Crunchy Black. But yeah, rest in peace to Gangsta Boo. She passed away January 1st.
That's so sad. Listen, y'all, I keep saying it, but I mean, Tennessee is up there in the top 5 states with fentanyl overdoses.
Really? Top 5?
I think, yeah.
Sheesh.
I think so. If it's not top 5, it's at least top 10. I have to go back and read the report. But, like, you can go read it at the Department of Health online. But, like, stop, for the love of God, stop taking pills from people that you buy off the street. They can be laced with fentanyl, and you can die.
Oh, no, fentanyl
will kill you. Yeah. If it's the right dose, and all you need is a little bit for it to
I seen this video where this cop was like,
that's false. You cannot.
Okay, cause
I'm gonna show.
Cause I was like,
no,
that look weird.
I did a graphic for International Overdose Awareness Day, August 31st, and I did a graphic on what fentanyl is and what it isn't. You can only overdose on fentanyl if you ingest it or it hits your bloodstream. Like if you touch fentanyl and you like put your hands to your mouth and you ingest it, yes, but just touching it by itself is not going to make you overdose. Obviously, if you touch it, you need to go wash your hands and like do the proper things with that. But like just because you touch fentanyl, or even if you like breathe it, it's not in your bloodstream. It has to hit your bloodstream for you to overdose. Okay, that's what the experts say. So I'm going with the experts. That's what I was told when I made my graphic for work. Okay. But yeah, all those cop videos, it's like Fox propaganda to blame Joe Biden for opening up the border and saying we're not safe. Like, I know you heard of like the Skittle fentanyl for Halloween. People are giving that out. Bro, the cartel doesn't want your 6-year-old to overdose. Yeah. That's not their target audience. It's teenagers and young adults.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me because if you keep killing them, who's going to buy your fucking product? But whatever.
Anyhow, last but not least, Kevin McCarthy, your boy's going through it. He is the, he's the House Minority Leader as of now, but he has failed 6 votes. So, essentially, they're voting for the new Keeper of the House, and he has failed to get the majority, and it's been 6 times that they've attempted. So this hasn't happened since 1929 that a House Speaker hasn't been elected on the first ballot.
Kevin is embarrassing himself.
Yeah, so we'll just see what happens, and
they still haven't gotten a vote yet, right?
Nope.
Isn't Jeffries? Wait, who was ahead of him?
Someone
else.
Let's see. I don't really think of anyone ahead of him. I think he just didn't get the majority vote. But yeah, this is literally history that we're witnessing. You see anything? Well, anywho.
I know they were resuming at 8 p.m. Eastern time to like vote again. But like you can't be sworn in. These new members of the House can't be sworn in until they have a House leader. Yeah. So like the Republicans are just playing themselves.
Yep. 6 votes, 2 days, no speaker.
And these white men are not gonna like come off their high horse because they believe they're the most important people in the world. So this is gonna go on for a few days.
Yeah.
A hot ass mess.
Yeah. All right. Well, you want to take a quick break and we get into it, or what? Or we want to hop into it?
It's up to you. Do you want to hop into it?
I might get some water or something. We'll be right back. All right, and we're back. So we're gonna just essentially introduce ourselves, or our Greek selves rather. But I'll let you go first, ladies first.
Thank you. So if you don't know, which I'm sure you already do, I am a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated in 1908. The best, the best, the first, and the finest, the best. I actually was initiated in the fall of 2013 at the University of Missouri Columbia in the Delta Tau chapter. Should I say my line name?
No.
Okay. I was about to say,
no.
How Greeky are we getting?
This ain't a probate.
Okay, good.
But
but yes, that's my history.
Okay. Yeah. For those who don't know, I'm a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. Our Founders Day is tomorrow, January 5th. Yo. I am a spring 2014 initiate of the Alpha Theta of Kappa Alpha Psi. And it's funny, we crossed in the same school year. You just pledged a semester before me. Mm-hmm. So if we had fall lines, it's probably been Sands. Mm-hmm. But but currently I am a member of Hendersonville Alumni Chapter, and I am the keeper of Exchequer, which means treasurer. Do you hold any offices in your current alumni chapter?
I do. I'm a member of Alpha Delta Omega since January 2015, joined right after college. Mm-hmm. And I've held lots of positions: committee chair, committee co-chair, member at large, and my current position is I am at Vanderbilt University.
So I actually had a desire to be the Alpha Theta.
You should.
As I got older, I said, hell nah. I don't want them problems.
I think it will be different for you because you pledged through Alpha Theta. Yeah. Obviously, I'm not moving back to Columbia, Missouri to.
Yeah, but how many girls do you oversee?
There's only 13 on campus.
13? Well, imagine 40 men, young men, who think they hot shit.
Well, the grad advisor for AK at TSU oversees 130.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot. But anywho.
Kearston, you can do it. I think you could do it. I think they want you to do it. But that will require you to move your chapter.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I have to go back to Nashville alumni.
And we all know. That's just not... You've already been there, done that.
Been there, done that. But,
you had the time. You put in your work.
Yeah, so essentially, me and Kearston, we're pretty similar. We have never stopped being active.
Yeah, we don't have a lapse in service.
And once again, you fall 13, I'm spring 14, so we just kept it going, and we have transitioned to the alumni chapter. So
y'all call it alumni, we call it graduate.
Yes, but
it's the same thing. But yes. It's just
But we are unicorns. It's not too many people who fit our description.
True.
Like if you think about undergrad to alumni and hold offices and remain active, you don't really. That's not common amongst our age group. Can you kind of let's really talk about the transition from undergrad to alumni or graduate chapter in your terminology. But I was a poll mark. I was the president in undergrad, and then I was a keeper of records, and then I transitioned to Nashville alumni, and I was the strategist there, and I just still remain active. Then I moved to Hendersonville in 2018. And then I became the keeper of exchequer in 2019, and I still hold the office to this day. So,
what is that in terms for people that don't know?
That means treasurer.
Okay.
So
because we call it tamioka. So
right.
If you're not Greek, we want to make sure you understand what we're talking about.
But also too, at a workshop, we should still. They were essentially saying don't still use the term, but then explain it versus
No, yeah, I just wanted you to explain what that was in case people didn't know.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. But it was just interesting in that workshop because I used to do that all the time. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm the treasurer.
Yeah.
But they're like, no, I'm the keeper of exchequer. Yeah. Oh, what's that? Oh, it's treasurer.
Yeah.
Because that's just our terminology. But anyway, going from undergrad to grad was intimidating. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, too, for those listening who might be undergrad or recently graduated, a lot of alumni chapters and graduate chapters will offer you, or at least with us, discount on local dues, half off.
AKA doing that.
Well, they understand that when you graduate, you still find yourself. So, we want younger people to join. So that's just our method of reclamation. We'll offer half off
for y'all.
Y'all can take a note or two from us.
We actually can. I really wish we would take life member, but if they do that, they'll lose money, and that's why they haven't done it. But
yeah, it makes sense because we might actually be following y'all model soon.
Yeah, where you gotta wait 25 years to become a life member.
Just know that other orgs look at what other orgs are doing, and they're like, because with Delta they don't allow life membership
at all. Anymore. See, I didn't know that because I don't really be caring what the Deltas be doing. No offense. I just don't care. But, we had this conversation off mic. I don't care what other Greek organizations are doing because I'm not focused on them. I hope they're doing well, but I don't.
That was passive aggressive, but
I just don't look at what they do.
Oh yeah, I mean, and off mic, I was like, you might want to just because stuff that happens elsewhere could come to your doorstep.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, if it's making national news or if it's something that I need to be concerned about that someone said in a chapter, of course. But if they're just doing everyday things like community service and their programs, I hope they're doing great. But it doesn't really impact my Greek journey, so I don't really tap into it.
Well, just
I don't think that's weird.
I mean, I actually find it interesting just how other people do stuff.
See, I mean, I just don't care. What works for you works for you. What doesn't. I'm just focused on AKA.
All right, but how was it transitioning from undergrad to graduate chapter for you?
Yeah, so I'm a little different in the thing in regarding transition to grad chapter because I always knew I was going to Alpha Delta Omega because I'm a legacy, and my mom is a part of ADO. She's been a part of ADO since probably before I was born, if we're being honest.
She's
a life member.
What does legacy mean?
That means, aka legacy means you have a paternal grandparent, mother,
That's already a member.
or like guardian that is a member.
Oh, okay.
So it excludes cousins, aunts.
Okay, so it got to be paternal.
Yeah. Paternal.
Okay.
Or your guardian.
Okay.
So that's what aka legacy is. And so I kind of knew that when I got out of college, first of all, my dad called me because, we all have to pay a fee to corporate to become members and like start the process, whatever. So my dad got on the phone and he was like, I'm not about to put this money in your bank account if you ain't about to be active after college. I see so many inactive people that said, like, he was just going off. He's like, so you better be active after college or I'm not going to pay this money. I was like, yeah, I'm going to be active. And obviously I moved back home and he told me, he was like, you need to go to a sorority meeting. Like, are you going to be active? And he's not Greek at all. Like, not Greek at all. And so I was like, yeah. So I went to a sorority meeting in like October and I joined in January. But I grew up around those ladies. Like, I did the cotillion with ADO. I did volunteer opportunities that were open to the public with ADO. And so they already knew me because of my mom, because hella people brought me gifts and wrote me recommendation letters.
I know your mom was a life member.
25. As soon as she turned 25, she got a life member. She initiated in 1981 at Ada Psi.
Was that MTSU?
Mm-hmm. They're about to celebrate their 50th this fall. So,
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention I am a life member of Kappa Alpha Psi.
I am not a life member of APA because I have not been a member for 24 years. On November 10th, it will be 10 years, which is exciting. It'll be a decade, but
Sheesh, you're getting old.
I am getting old. I'm old as hell.
I'll be 10 next year.
Yeah. And so my transition was just a little different because I knew I was going, first of all, I like moved back home with my parents and I knew I was going to be active. And if I wasn't active, my dad was going to get in my ass. And so I just joined. And from there, I joined the committees my mom was a part of. And I just kind of branched out on my own and like met people and like formed friendships that were outside my mom. And so I would say I had an advantage of her already being a part of the chapter and me knowing hella members since I was like 5. So
yeah, so with me joining, especially gonna take it back to when I joined Nashville Alumni Chapter. So they oversee Alpha Theta, which is where I crossed at Tennessee State, and their chapter is older, it's just older members. It's a whole bunch of wisdom in the room. I learned a lot, and it's just literally like I felt like I was around my uncles and grandpas, and they had children like almost twice as old as me sometime, and so I ain't gonna lie, I felt kind of out of place when I was there, and
I can see how that's intimidating.
Oh gosh, I mean, I'm in a room with Monty Watkins. He's a judge.
You're in a room with big money, old money.
Oh my God.
Influential people.
I'm in a room with
people that will set you straight if you.
I'm in a room with Howard Gentry.
Oh yeah, you in a room with big money.
Rest in peace to William Haston. Like, he was that guy where at province council meetings, which is our regionals, whenever he spoke, people listened. Like, it got quiet. Imagine being in a room with him. Leonard Morton, rest in peace.
You're in the room, heavy hitters.
He was like Alpha Theta 40 something. I'm like, hey.
Most of the people in that chapter were Alpha Theta, right? Or like a good portion.
Yeah. I mean, you had a mix. But yeah, definitely old school Alpha Theta in the building. But yeah, you just had some heavy hitters, and here I am, this young man, still trying to find my way in the world, and it was good being around them because being young and being plugged in with older people
is essential.
Yeah, because I mean, let's just be real. Older people, they have the reach, they have the influence, so
they have the money.
Yeah, so it's good to have those people know you.
Yeah.
Shout out to my guy Ross Fleming. Like, that's my guy. Like, he's like my uncle. But at the end of the day, we're all, members. So, every time we see them, it's just always good fellowship and always a good time. And
you need to go to the chapter that fits your current needs and desires at that time. Yeah. I mean, people leave our chapter and go to like other chapters in Nashville and vice versa.
Yeah. So, but like I said earlier, I'm now part of Hendersonville Alumni Chapter, and just a year in, I became an officer. So, they're a much younger chapter, and I just fit in better there. I feel more myself, and especially getting older now, I'm like at the sweet spot. So I'm still technically young, but it's funny though, because with our situation, I'm young in age, but I'm old in Kappa. Sometimes, like in the room, like I might have someone who's Hendersonville spring 17 or
that are like
spring 20, So it's just very interesting because once you stay active, of course, people still join your chapter. Mm-hmm. So now you got older people, like, hey, I've been looking at a chapter and I'm interested in joining, and you're like,
yeah, I had older people reach out to me that are like in their 40s. And I'm just like, dang, like I'm old.
Yeah,
I'm old.
Right, and that's the thing too. So literally in the room, I'm like, I already been here, I already seen this before. But then you got older people who
are fascinated by it.
They're just so enthusiastic.
I'm just like, been there, done that.
Oh, speaking of, like, how often do you stroll these days?
0.
I only stroll at like a wedding or something, if like maybe one of my line brothers get married.
Yeah, I'll do our pat at a wedding or like a official event, but like I didn't stroll. Like obviously you and Veron, like, go out there and stroll. Absolutely not.
Yeah, you definitely should stroll at a picnic, but
no.
Boo.
No, I don't. I just.
No, I mean I get it though.
To understand why I don't, it's just like I did that in undergrad, and honestly, I didn't even do it that much in undergrad because I'm the type of person that feels like strolling should only be at Greek events. We've already had this conversation, so we won't go there on this podcast because it's wild.
Yeah, you're I know how you feel about that, but yeah, I
mean, other people feel that way too. It was on Greek shenanigans when people were strolling at a restaurant and people were like, sit your ass down, like I'm trying to eat.
Yeah, and also too, I don't even really wear that much paraphernalia.
I only do it if I'm going to an AK event.
Yeah.
Like, or unless I have a sweatshirt on and I need to run into the store real quick.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm not. I see people that purposely put on AKA para just to like run errands. Girl, but why?
I mean, so they can be seen. But
why though?
See, my paraphernalia is I mean, I have a like Kappa license plate. So
oh yeah, I took my AKA license plate off my car.
Yeah, I mean, mine is like that because you can't get one unless you're financial.
Oh yeah. Same.
So like, it's saying a lot without saying a lot.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like being like an older Greek, not that a lot of stuff turns me off. It's just like, I mean, I've been there, done that, and it's like it's not exciting to me anymore.
Yeah,
like I know people that get super excited for probates when Alpha Psi probated in spring 2022. So many people were like so excited, and they're like, "Are you going?" I said no. And they're like, "Why not?" I was like, "Well, number one, I have something else to do, but number two, it's a probate. I've seen the one. You probably pretty much seen them all.
Yeah,
they all follow the same format.
Yeah, I went to
no matter what school, by the way.
I went to Alpha Delta probate, which is at FIS.
Oh yeah, you was like, do you want to go? I said, oh, absolutely not. Not because it's like I've seen one cap probate.
I mean, it's just
they honestly, come in.
Yeah.
They start their greetings. They spit history. You
but also too, like
reveal them, and then they get out the canes and they do their little step and they leave.
So we oversee Alpha Delta, my alumni chapter. So when I go, it's like a advisory type thing. Like I'm not in the mix because it was honestly a bunch of recent neos and stuff. They kind of deep, and they were strolling, and I'm just with my other officers. We just in the back chilling, because that's just what it is now. Like,
yeah,
I don't, you know, that's for them to do.
Right. Like that's college kids and their shine. Like they love that. Like, but for me, and people's like, all probates aren't the same. I'm like, yeah, they pretty much follow the same fucking structure. They do.
Yeah.
Now the greetings are different and the way you spit history may vary chapter to chapter, but you come in, you get on stage, you start your greetings, you like chapter greetings, other Greek greetings, like your dean greetings, your AD, blah, 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 charter members, however your chapter does it. Then you start history, chapter history, sorority fraternity history. Then you get revealed. Then you throw shade, do a little step, and then you're strolling out the door. And then you come back for pictures and your hymnal, and then all the old members come back up and start strolling. It's the same at any university, and people's like, no, it's not. Yes, it is. I've been to plenty probates. Yeah. At HBCUs, at PWIs, it's all the same.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. When I went to my cousin Aaron probate at Georgia Tech, I was like, y'all Negroes wild. But
because of because we have literally, I told you, we talked about this on the podcast before. Them white schools, our white Greek advisors that are in the Greek office did not care.
First of all, nobody was even there.
Like, from the school?
Yeah, it was, like nobody was there.
Right, they don't care.
And mind you, I got my old aunts there.
They're like, have fun.
And they talking about, they were saying some very obscene language. And I'm like,
hoes and
I was like,
pussy, yeah.
And I'm like it was kind of cringeworthy.
Really? I think it's funny.
Could you imagine you standing next to your mom and you hearing that?
Well, there's older people at these people's probates and they heard it.
I'm just saying, like, imagine if you were around like
Karen,
like one of your relatives and they're older and they're not like
Greek, yeah,
or not even Greek, but just you don't want your grandma or older aunt to hear, "I fuck that bitch."
It's wild to me that y'all didn't do that.
That was. And see, that's the biggest difference.
That is wild because
at a HBCU that would never happen.
Oh, I've seen it.
Ever
happen all the time.
Like, matter of fact, well, I already told you, like they watch our show before we do it.
Who? The school?
Yeah.
Oh no, our white Greek advisors were too busy dealing with the white Greeks. They did not give a fuck.
Well, see, we had us.
The only people that watched our show were our advisors, and Mizzou was like, okay, well, if you have a show and
look,
as long as your organization is cool with it, we don't care.
The director,
I mean, it may be different now, but back in the day, we had no guidelines. Like,
the director of student activities and like the other team, they would, we would have to perform the show for them.
That is wild to me. Really?
Yeah. So people would be walking around saying bitches and hoes,
and they will stop you if they didn't approve of anything.
Yeah, they'll be like, yo.
Really?
Because you have to follow.
I wish Mizzou would have.
I mean, that's why you got the wild probates, and then our probates aren't wild.
They're not. Actually, I've been to a couple of HBCU probates, and y'all are like very respectful.
Yeah, because
these PWIs, they can get hella disrespectful when it comes to other people's orgs. Like, I've seen it in real life.
I mean, I'm telling you,
I've seen the Kappas hold up paper when talking about the alphas, and that did not go over well.
Yeah, I mean, look.
If y'all did that to TSU, I'm sure y'all would have got reprimanded for that.
I mean, shoot, my cousin Bakari was there. I think Marcus was there too. But yeah, we in a crowd like, did he say that? Whoa. Because, I mean, come on now. It's like, even one time when I was...
like the Omegas who like beat that pussy up. Yeah, they definitely were saying that.
Yeah, but like you don't see anything wrong with that.
I think no. I thought it was great.
But I'm saying, like,
y'all couldn't do that at TSU. They couldn't do that chant.
I mean, we would have our chance like if we just stroll individually, but like as far as like
at a probate, y'all
heck no, we can't.
Did TSU allow y'all to stroll before the probates?
Well, yeah, that's like yeah. Yeah, like the pro fights, stroll around, whatever. But yeah.
Y'all won't allow other Greek organizations to stroll at?
Yeah, after the probate.
Y'all can stroll before?
Well, no, because that's going to be too much going on. Like after the probate's over, that's when everybody...
Anyone can stroll before the probate or after the probate?
Oh, no. Like, normally, if it's whoever's probated is, it's their pro fights. They out there.
Oh, no. It's...
like what y'all doing out here? It's not y'all show.
Hey, listen, the DJ started playing "Wipe Me Down" and "Knuck If You Buck," and so "Wipe Me Down" and "Knuck If You Buck." You got up and started wiping.
Well, okay. Well, that was DJ fault.
Or that's just like you just stroll at people's probates.
Like I said, normally it's the whoever it is, it's their profiles, whatever, and then at the end, that's when everybody start.
Oh, okay.
But
interesting.
But yeah, all right. Well, let's get into the spicy part. Why do you feel there's such a lack of young active Greeks?
They did it for clout and to be popular on college campus. There's no way in hell you're telling me you joined for the right reasons and you made a lifetime commitment.
Okay.
And then after college, you decide that, oh, I just don't want to like do it anymore because I don't have the money or I don't have the time. It's bullshit.
Okay. All right. So just a disclaimer.
Bullshit.
Just a disclaimer before before Kearston goes off the rails.
I'm gonna be good. I'm just saying I think it's bullshit.
So once again,
just say you don't want to be active.
The purpose of this pod is to create insight. I don't know. We might do a follow up with because I had the original idea of bringing someone who's not active and we can talk to them.
Don't do that.
I'm telling you,
don't do that.
That would be good content.
Okay, what will this person say?
Well, we can literally just hear from them. Like we can ask them why, and they can tell us why, and then we can
unless
debate.
It's like you absolutely cannot afford it or you had a horrible experience. I just don't get it
because we can hear from them real time, why, and then we can challenge them. Like, oh well, why don't you do? It can be a good just debate. It don't have to get heated per se, but I feel like it would be good to hear someone and their reasoning, and then maybe we at the end of the pod we can convert them and gonna be active.
No, you're not gonna convert. If someone doesn't want to be active, you're not gonna convert them into active lifestyle.
But I do feel that you do see why, or people's reasonings come out after a year or two. Well, really after graduation, in my opinion, because, with me in particular, I had a mentor, have a mentor, shout out to Alex, and, he's a life member. He's been active. He's been active on the province level, so he kind of stayed on me. And I feel like one is kind of like a two person fault system, but it's more so on the individual. But I feel like if you had a mentor, they should have been on you.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? To be where you like.
Absolutely.
Because, just looking at it, especially in hindsight now, if you have an active mentor and they're showing you the way, then you should know no other way but being active. Because that's what you see.
Yeah. I mean, I also hear the excuse that people are like, well, AKA, I don't know where my grad chapters are. No one's really invited me. Well, sometimes you have to go out and be initiate some of that stuff yourself. Go to the website, see what chapters are active and reach out to those chapters and meet people. I mean, I understand honestly, you not knowing where to start.
Well, actually,
but we talk about that.
Hold on,
we talk about that, and when you're joining,
that's a little weird.
And then we talk about that before the girls start to graduate. It's like what area are you going in? Going to oh, here are the grad chapters, or if you're staying in Nashville, we have 3. I mean, people use that as an excuse, but at the same time, it's you're not slow because you're not slow. You know how to go to aka1908.com and look at chapters in your area and reach out and how to email.
Yeah, that and just you just know other members. You be like, hey, what chapter part of or whatever.
Yeah,
it's not hard to find an alumni chapter.
It's not I mean, you can be very basic and go in your IG stories and be like, any source that live in Cincinnati, Ohio, that can point me or know anyone that's in a graduate chapter in Cincinnati, Ohio. You can make that a Facebook status.
Yeah.
If you don't want to do the work of going to the website, you don't want to, my whole thing is you're not actively working to become active. It's at that point, it's okay, you got out of college, you don't know what city you're moving to. Great. But if you graduate in May, you still have a full extra 6-7 months before you pay, because AKA dues are January to December. We go calendar year. And so you're still technically active until December, even if you graduated. So I didn't join ADL until January 2015 because technically I was still active and I didn't want to pay that money to like transfer for 2 months. Like it made no sense.
Yeah.
And so to me, it's a character flaw. And I know I say that and people think saying that is very weird, but you joined for lifetime membership. You made a commitment, and saying, well, I don't want to do it anymore means to me it's a character flaw, because what else did you commit yourself to that you're not going to do?
Yeah. And
like you joined knowing that this was for a lifetime. You joined saying you are going to uphold the values and morals of your organization, and it just stops after you graduate college. Then why'd you do it?
So unfortunately, there's no there's no repercussions for not being active.
Right. You still get some of the same benefits.
I mean, you can.
The only thing you can't do is come to chapter meeting and close chapter events to go to Boule and regionals.
Yeah, and just a lot of people will just forego that if they could just go to the turn up.
And I think those people are living in their undergrad glory days. Because why is a Greek turn up event the only one you want to attend? Why don't you want to attend chapter? Why don't you want to know what's going on in your organization? Why don't you want to like volunteer? Why don't you want to mentor undergrads in your that are a part of your graduate council? Like, why don't you want to do these things? And maybe I'm thinking about it from a different perspective because I grew up around AKAs. I'm a legacy. Like, I knew I was going to be active, but I also joined for the right reasons.
Yeah, I mean, essentially that's what it is at its core, but just kind of facing the issue. The other part is that, in my experience of trying to get people to become active, is that it's hard to show like tangible value on like, why should I spend this money when I can do this?
But I don't think the money's that expensive.
Well, but see,
my thing is, if you're going on beach vacations, if you're buying luxury, expensive designer items, why can't you pay $300 in dues? Why can't you put aside $20 every month or $50 every month for between January and December and just take that money and pay your dues in December and do whatever's left over, do whatever with it? It's like, people tell me they can't afford to be active. Bitch, you drive a BMW and you have Gucci. What do you mean you can't afford $300? You just don't want to be active. Oh, I don't have the time. I know parents that have multiple children that make the time. And
also
on the time, let me tell you.
Yeah, I'm about to say we didn't touch on time because
it's only 2 hours out of the month, and that's chapter meeting. You don't have to. If you only want to go to chapter meeting and know what's going on with the sorority, that is 2 hours out of the month. You don't have to volunteer. You don't have to be on any subcommittee. AKA does not force you to do that. All we ask for, if you're active, if you're not a general member, is different. You're not part of a chapter, so you're just general. You're just financial. But if you're a part of a chapter, all we ask is for you to attend chapter meetings. If you don't want to go to Boule, if you don't want to go to regionals, it's encouraged. You're not forced to. That's 2 hours out of the month, Garrison. And we're on summer break, July and August. So that is 10. What's 10 times 2? That is 20 hours. Wait, what's 10 times 2?
Yeah, 20.
Okay. That is 20 hours out of the year. Sorry, y'all. I'm not good at math.
Well, no. So that's a common misconception too, because
two hours.
A lot of times when I talk to my peers trying to get them, back in the fold, man, I ain't got time, man. But in reality, so even this as an officer, we have a board meeting the Monday of the chapter meeting. It could be like an hour long. And then chapter meeting, another hour long. And then, community service, maybe once a month.
If that.
And then, we have our regionals once a year.
And you don't have to go.
We have our leadership meeting once a year. We have our conclave every other year.
Right.
So it doesn't take up as much time as people think.
It doesn't take literally, AKA takes up a lot of my life because I made it take up a lot of my life by taking leadership positions and joining committees and like going to conferences. So for me, I probably put close to 10, 20 hours in a month for AKA. But that's okay because I don't have kids. I don't got a man. So I got to spend my time doing something besides reading and working. It's AKA. Mm-hmm. But if for the people, it's like, well, I'm busy and I travel a lot. Unless you're traveling like on the weekends that you meet or the days that you meet, you really don't have and you can be general. Like, you don't even have to, like, being general requires zero time except for paying dues in January.
But I mean, honestly,
that's no time at all. And general dues are like $200.
But like I said, it just kind of shows where people prioritize. Because as adults, we spend money on what we want to.
Exactly.
So, like you said, people go on trips and all that and whatever.
And I'm not counting. I don't want people to think I'm counting their pockets, but at the same time, it's like.
But I mean,
you can't say you can't afford it, and I'm seeing what you're showing me what you're spending your money on social media.
But then that goes back to why or how can you show someone the benefits? Like, because there's nothing tangible.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, like the friendships I made, the connections I made. I've gotten I've really. I got in a sense of like what I want my AKA journey to look like moving forward. Like, what do I want to be this sorority? What do I want to give? Like, I have so much fun at conferences, meeting sorors and going to workshops and learning more. Like, basically why I'm still active is number one, I love my sorority. Number two, I just want to know how I can become better, like be a better soror or be a better friend. Like, how I can make my chapter better, how I can make the Nashville community better through AKA initiatives. Like, how can I give back? And of course, it's easier on a college campus because you're kind of still in the bubble in college. And I do understand, like, oh, I graduated college. Like, where do I fit in with my Greek journey? But at the same time, it's like if you truly join for the right reasons and not to be seen and not to like establish a persona on social media, to me, unless you're sick or you're just absolutely broke or you had a very negative experience that impacted your mental health, I don't see a reason why you are not active.
Yeah.
And that's just me. People have tried to explain it to me. It's like, I don't have the time. I'm super busy. And it's just like, you can still be general. Like, don't you want to be financial?
Yeah. So I'll say this, like the reason why I'm still active is, and also the benefits of it is that one, like I said, I had my mentor, he was on me tough. And plus that's like what I saw. So I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to be active. I would feel weird being a member, just not being active.
And I would talk mad shit about you if you weren't active.
And like not knowing what's going on in my own organization.
Oh yeah, I would talk mad crap about you if you weren't active.
And then the awkward moment when people want a letter of recommendation.
Oh, it's a no.
But
it's a no. You're not active, and chances are when this person graduates college, they ain't about to be active either because you're their mentor and you ain't active. I ain't about to put my name on that letter.
Yeah.
You gotta be picky, y'all.
Hey.
You gotta be picky. There's nothing wrong with being picky.
If you are active out there and people ask you for letters and you don't know them, either you can do your own research and get to know them, but other than that, I would recommend you say no because...
it's a reflection of you who you bring into your organization.
And plus,
and some people may corner you and be like, this person ain't doing anything, but you recommended them.
Yeah.
Or this person's acting out. Or they're getting in trouble, but you put your name down. Like, what's going on?
Just be careful who you write letters for. But
absolutely,
I will say, my journey in Kappa, it's been great because, well, one, like I said, I was a young man amongst the seniors when I first transitioned to the alumni chapter, and now some of my best moments have been out of town, at regionals, and you meet people. Mm-hmm. So if y'all don't hear anything, at least hear this: when you are in the room with active people, well, one, you have to think, okay, these are the type of people who are in this room, first and foremost, because they are active. We all have that similarity. 2, these are the actual real decision makers. You know, if you know these people, then they can affect you even outside of your respective organization.
Mm-hmm. They can be your next connection to a good job.
Yes.
Or they can introduce you to someone.
Because they are in the rooms. Kid you not, I was at regionals.
I want to be in the room where it happens, the room where it happens, the room where it happens. Hamilton, by the way.
I haven't seen Hamilton yet. I know.
Oh, it's a 3-hour on Disney Plus, and I'm going to force you to watch it.
Okay. But I was in Tunica, Mississippi. Mind you, I'm just like, ugh. But, you know, being active, gotta do my duty. Mm-hmm. And this was when I was still at Regions. You know, we go to our business session. I see Regions on the projectors. I'm like, okay. Next you know, it's this, you know, short, light-skinned man. He's giving a presentation. Find out he's like a senior VP out of Tampa, Florida. Work for Regions. I'm like...
Which was dope at the time.
I was like, all right. And mind you, I'm like 2 years at the bank. Mm-hmm. So I walk up and introduce myself. Mm-hmm. He says, oh, it's good to meet a brother who works for the bank. Tell me this. Have you, registered for Conclave yet? And mind you, at the time, Conclave was $500 to register.
It's probably $800 now.
I said, it was like $575. But early, that's early. But I was like, nah, I haven't. He said, I got you.
And he actually paid?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, he got Regions to pay for it, but it got paid, and I didn't pay it. And the fact that I was just there.
Yeah.
Because I could have been at home chilling.
Yeah.
Like bullshitting.
Yeah.
But the fact that I was in a room, it saved me $500. You know what I'm saying? So just being in those rooms, and then also when you go to these conclaves and you meet members from around the country, mm-hmm. and you in these rooms,
it's inspiring.
So then when you get older and you go to different cities, you're like, oh, let me reach out to brother so-and-so. Mm-hmm. Oh, let me reach out. Mm-hmm. And they got you.
Yeah, it's like literally my mom, this was a regional, back when we can fit in Jackson, Mississippi. We way too big for that now. We haven't been in Jackson in like years.
Yeah, y'all would drink all the water.
And so my mom met like a soror, and she called that soror. It's like, hey, soror, I'm so sorry, but like me and so-and-so got stranded at the mall. The bus ain't coming back. Like we missed the last bus. And she had her husband come pick them up and take them back to their hotel. All because, like, mind you, this was before Uber. This is before social media. This is when people still have flip phones or how to use a phone in the department store. And so, like you said, those connections and the people you meet. I remember one time I went to a sisterhood workshop in Birmingham, and I met a girl, and we're still, like, really, like, we talk every now and then on IG.
When I interned in Colorado in 2015 in Fort Collins, Colorado, I don't know. Mm-hmm. That's 30 minutes from Wyoming.
Yeah.
I was in this group chat called Mile High Greek. So really that opened my eyes to just the whole NPHC aspect of it. Because, well, one, in Colorado ain't that many black people. And two, if you Greek, it's like, man, we don't care what you are. Come on.
Yeah.
But I met my frat brother, Gabe. I took a Greyhound down to the city, right? That was my first.
The city mean Denver?
Yes, Denver, which is like an hour south.
Oh.
He picked me up. We go to this nice restaurant. I get a steak dinner. He said, I got you.
Oh, that's nice.
Mine just first time meeting him, like I don't know him from a can of paint. And then, go to this place. Yeah, man, my house is your house. Mm-hmm. Make something home. Whatever. And I'm thinking, this is dope. Mm-hmm. Because, if I was very closed-minded with this or didn't really utilize the connection, because honestly, I would say the most important thing that I've experienced just joining is the network. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like,
you never know who knows who that can get you
your
next opportunity.
Do you realize that being active as well, like you're in the room with some heavy hitters. Like if I go to Atlanta, you're in
the room with people that are like executives at Fortune 500 companies.
Andre Dickens, that's the mayor of Atlanta.
Yeah.
He's a Kappa.
Yeah.
I can be like, what up, Noop?
Right. You're They're like, there's Tamron Hall.
Yeah.
I think she's, I hope so. I think,
well,
whatever.
Well, she's Greek.
Yeah, she's Greek, but
Yeah.
I think she's okay. You have Robin Roberts. I mean, she's honorary, but like you have swords that are actually really successful in their like career field.
Yeah, and worst case, because that's the beauty of it. It's like yes, I'm technically like one person away from the mayor of Atlanta or wherever, but like I can get a hold of him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's just frustrating because that's just one of the things too. Just sometimes being in the room, and I am the only young person. That's the frustrating part about being active in Greek.
Yeah. Because
when you go to regionals and all that, who is it mostly? Old people.
Yep. It's hardly ever, and if they're young outside of graduate chapters, they're usually legacies. That's what I've learned. Or like their aunt or their sister. And
then even with that, I mean, it's the old mindsets, we can't complain about stuff when we're not there to change.
Right.
It's a reason why things are the way they are because of who's in position of power. So
I'm trying to see if she's like, I don't know.
What?
She may not be Greek.
Well, if not, then that's just our fault.
Yeah.
But
so disregard everything I just said about that. But
yeah, she was. It's just I don't know. It's just I don't know.
Brandy's an AK though.
Yeah, she is.
But she's legacy because her mom's an AK.
Is she honorary?
Mm-hmm. She didn't go to college. She can,
Well, we got Lance Gross.
But a Catholic told me they don't do honorary. He's like, you gotta earn your shit. I was like, oh, my bad.
Well, yeah, we don't do honorary.
He's like, you want to be a Kappa? You gonna work to be a Kappa.
He might put a little too much zest on it, but we just don't do honorary though.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you could have just let him slide through. I don't think you're about to haze Lance Gross and beat his ass.
Well, no, we don't. Well, first of all, we don't haze.
That's right. We're non-hazing organization. I don't know what I was talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What?
You know who I do want though?
Who?
Barack. I feel like Barack would be a good Kappa.
But Barack and Michelle keep denying honorary membership.
Well, no, he wouldn't be honorary, but we'll just approach him like, yo, Washington, D.C. alumni chapter. Like, what's up?
I don't think he would do it. But he lives in Chicago, doesn't he?
Well, okay. Chicago alumni chapter. What's up?
I don't think he would do it.
Anything else that we didn't cover?
I want Beyonce.
I mean, y'all can make an honorary.
She ain't gonna do
she ain't gotta do shit.
I know, but she ain't gonna. I don't think Greek's for her.
I will say Hove, but
no, he ain't doing shit.
I mean, it'd be nice though. But I could never see Obama being a Kappa.
You think so? Mm-hmm. I can see him being an alpha.
I can see him being a Kappa.
I can see him being an alpha. I think Barack would be, if he did anything, I think he'll be a. You can see Barack shimmy,
especially that tan suit. Come on.
Infamous tan suit.
That man caught hell for that.
Yeah. Infamous tan suit.
Anything else? Kind of like, I don't have any last words. Well, let's just end it with on a positive note.
Get active.
Hey, if y'all listening,
I don't convince anyone to be active because I feel like if you wanted to be active, you would. We
need y'all.
We do.
And
like the older members are getting tired and they're.
I mean, look, they're only going to die.
Look, high key. They are.
I mean, they're literally dying to have like the Greek life in a nutshell is old people not having kids and then they're just dying because no one's replacing. So.
It's good opportunity for you there for leadership.
It's good opportunity
for development,
connections. You build extensive networks. Because not too many people can say they connected in all these places like that. You know what I'm saying? And job opportunity. I mean, people complain about they in a dead end job. Hey, you need to meet someone who can make some decisions. Who will change your life just by meeting them. Because life is all about happenstance. It's about people work hard, but it's also luck involved too. Like you need to be in the same room and, be prepared for that moment when you do meet someone with opportunity.
Yeah. I mean, to end on a positive note.
Get your shit off. Go ahead.
No, the reason why I feel so passionate about this because, like our older members are only getting older and they're passing down wisdom now. They're passing down how to take care of your organization now. And you made a commitment and you made a promise to lifetime membership. And that shit does not end at college. It continues. Like, we are not PHA in IFC. We do not go 4 years and it's over. We go 4 years and keep going. Yes. And so it's so important to me because if people aren't active, like, we're not going to have enough people to do our programs to continue the legacy that our founders started. And then the ones before us started. Like, you start to lose chapter history. You start to lose the wisdom. You start to lose these stories.
And then, so the other part, the frustrating part is that when you're active and, once again, it's only a few of us. Mm-hmm. And then when stuff starts to change and then all the other people who ain't active complaining, well, guess what?
Oh, we got a lot of that.
Well, guess what? Yeah.
We changed leaderships to some. It's 2023, Kearston. We changed leaderships in 2022, and a lot of people that weren't active were like upset because obviously we halted membership for a second. It's still halted. Yeah. And people are like, "Oh my God, I have a daughter." Blah blah blah. But you're not. You know why? Like, some things are paused because we need to get ourselves together. We got to get in order. And it's hard for me to care about your opinion and you're not active and you're not going to these conferences and voting and like asking questions and standing on the floor trying to get clarity. It's like, I remember I saw this TikTok. She's not AK, but I think she was either Delta or Zeta. And she was talking about how she stopped being active and she felt it was rude for people to like exclude her out of some events and exclude her from like chapter business. Girl, what? You're not active. And she's like, that's not sisterly. Like, I still have a right to know. Okay, if you feel like you still have a right to know and you still want to be in the know, then get active. Like, I cannot reason with her. People in the comments were just agreeing. They're like, I agree with you. I'm not active, but I would like to know what's going on. I would still like to like receive the emails. Why? What are you going to do? Read it and go complain on Facebook?
Yeah.
It's just, if you're not active, I really want you to like dig deep down inside yourself and think about why you're not active and
so
why you joined in the first place and your reasons for not being active and if they're actually valid.
Once again, I mean, even just with life, when you allow outsiders to come in and change shit and you're watching on the outside,
you can't say anything. And
plus, we're going to do so much when our people ain't in there to change. Because imagine, like, let's say with Alpha Theta, if it's only just me and maybe one other person and then all the other alumni people coming in and making decisions for Alpha Theta, what can we do?
Nothing.
It's only two of us.
Yeah.
When the others could have helped, but they just weren't there. So,
I mean, you have a say. People's like, AKA so big, I hear my voice isn't being heard. You have a say. Like, let your basilisks know. Stand up at chapter and like voice your opinions. Like, we're only as strong as like our weakest link. Like, you do have a say. You can voice your opinion. You can say, like, I do that all the time. Like, I was on a conference call like a few days ago and I'm like, well, I don't like the direction this is going in. And I voiced my opinion and my voice was heard. And then it was like, okay, we'll have to like re-examine. And my chapter's really good at that. It was like, oh, we want to do this event. Oh, wait. We have these questions. We have these concerns. It's halted until we can get more clarity, until it makes more sense.
And this prime
and you
example,
have a chapter vote. Like, you have a vote in chapter.
And prime example, when I was a Nashville alumni, like I said, they're older. So let's say they were talking about having an event, and let's say I said something like, because that was the issue with Nashville alumni, is that it wasn't like a lot of young people there, because if I say something like, yo, that's kind of dated, well, we like that, and it's majority of them, then they gonna outvote me.
I'm glad my chapter's not like that.
But that's what could happen.
Yeah, yes, I agree. That is what can happen.
Because if you got 99% old thinking people, and 1%, they're gonna be like,
because they have the majority vote.
Yeah, they be like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, the quorum's in their favor.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, I really do want y'all. If you're not active, I want you to think about getting active. You can reach out to me if you want to like come to a chapter meeting to kind of see what that's about. There's also Kappa Lambda Omega and Usman Psi. That's in UPL. I call them UPL, but yeah, KLO, UPO, ADO are your 3 grad chapters in Nashville, and then of course you have Murfreesboro.
Yeah, see, we have, Middle Tennessee, Hendersonville, Nashville alumni,
Brentwood,
and Murfreesboro alumni. Like, those are our 4.
Oh yeah, we just got a chapter in Brentwood. They're new. They came out. I'm sorry, they came in the summer of 2022. They were just chartered like months ago.
Wow.
They're very new.
Okay.
So we have 5 chapters in the Middle Tennessee area. So you have, if you want a smaller chapter, then maybe.
Man, look, just hit me up, man. Look,
yeah.
we'll
hit Garrison up for Kappa. Hit me up for AKA. We don't know anything about any other org, so you're gonna have to find out. About that from somebody else.
We about to wrap up, and
also I just want to say one last thing.
Oh, all right, go ahead.
For Founders Day, why do y'all buy new fits and go out and look cute and spend all money knowing you're not going to be active the rest of the year, talking about how much you love your sorority? Do you really love your sorority? I just don't answer that. It's rhetorical. Just think about it. Just think about it. I'm just saying, just think about it.
Look,
buying a new fit for social media to say I'm an AKA, I love my sorority, but you haven't done anything since you graduated. How much love is that? That's like me saying I love my family, but I actively go out of my way to not be a part of their life. I actively make excuses on why I can't go see them or be a part of their lives. That's literally the same thing. You made a commitment. Like, you love your family, and you're not, and I'm assuming if you love your family, you're not about to go years without showing them love or showing up for them or seeing them. It's kind of the same thing.
There might be some people's version of love.
Huh?
There might be some people's version of love.
But you can't love your sorority or fraternity if you actively avoid being a part of it. That's not love. You love the image of it, and you love posting on social media to get likes and to feel validated, which I think social media is ruining Greek life, but that's a different topic for a different day.
Yeah, definitely.
Social media is terrible for Greek life, and I almost wish we didn't have it. I almost wish we didn't have it because a lot of people are joining to stroll. Okay, I gotta say this. I saw this one person. It's just a funny comment I saw on TikTok, and someone that's not Greek was like, "Why do y'all be joining? Really, like, if it was?" She's like, "I think a lot of y'all join just to stroll in for the partying." And one guy, he's so funny. I follow him on TikTok. He's like, "Some of y'all joined the stroll and you still aren't sharp." Screaming. And then another thing, this one at Alpha. I still have this screenshot, and people got mad at me when I was like, this is back in the day. And he was like, Alpha was like, y'all only come to us when you need something. No, y'all only come to us when you need something, but expect us to help you out. Like, when you need something, someone was like, yeah, because when I'm getting jumped, my first thought is to be like, man, let me call this Alpha to come help me out. I was dying. But literally, he was like, what do we need you for? He's like, what's an Alpha going to do for me as a GDI if I'm not interested in being Greek? And he has a very good point.
Well, yeah, but like,
and I think
like, that's why I don't like the whole social media platform.
Right, because I think people...
It's not supposed to be questioned like that.
It's not, but I think people are getting... are starting to question people, like, especially people that aren't Greek and that don't want to be Greek, that didn't have a desire, that are now coming on in comments, and especially on TikTok. They're like, then if you're not active, why'd you join? Like, what was the point? Like, did you just do it for college?
Yeah. See,
and so when people start questioning you and they ain't Greek, we got we got a lot of shit to fix.
Yeah.
As like MPHC, we have a lot of stuff to fix, and I don't like social media when it comes to grief because number one, people are in your fucking business. Like that Kappa that basically said some of his neos.
Oh yeah.
Were paper. I was like, damn, and their profile. Like some of that shit needs to stay off social media. Like, what are you doing? Y'all have no discernment. Y'all have no discretion.
I'll just end with this because when I was a freshman, the campus leaders, the people who I looked up to, they were all Greek, and they were a great example. They were in, positions of leadership, and they were good in the classroom and active on like different organizations. I'm like, man, I want to be that.
But it's not like that. I
know, and I'm saying now
it's changed because now it's like I talked to someone that was thinking about joining an organization, and they're like, you know what? I don't know anymore because they were like, all I see them do is like drink at parties and stroll. They're like, they don't really have campus events, and when they do have campus events, their words, not mine. She's like, it's lame as fuck, and she's like, it's not interesting, and I feel like they just thought about it like 24 hours before, and it's not organized. And so we have to start asking ourselves, like, do we care more about partying and strolling and stepping than we do about our national programs? And that's a problem it's a problem when you're more together with the strolling and the stepping and your programs on campus are lacking.
Well, that's an age-old issue.
It is. And I don't know how we combat it. Oh, I know how we combat it. Get active. Come help us out.
Well, yeah. All right. Well, we're going to end.
That was fun.
Yeah, so look, once again, we're not bashing. Well, at least I'm not. Kearston is.
I'm not bashing. I actually wasn't judging.
Oh, okay. Well, let the record show.
Did it sound like I was judging?
Well, I mean,
I'm just very passionate about it because I just don't understand why you're not active.
No, but seriously though, I mean,
I need that understanding.
I be getting frustrated though when it's just me. And I'm like, yo, where the hell are all these niggas at? Mm-hmm. Like, it can't just be me.
Right.
Like, something's wrong.
It is, yeah.
But, once again, January 5th, Founders Day, Kappa Alpha Psi.
In like 4 hours, technically.
Yep. January 9th, Founders Day for Phi Beta Sigma. Mm-hmm. January 13th is the Founders Day for Delta Sigma Theta.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to the Deltas.
January 15th is the Founders Day for Alpha Kappa Alpha.
The first, the finest.
January 16th is the Founders Day for Zeta Phi Beta.
January was a busy month. Man,
it's like, it's so funny because at the beginning of the year, January just like boom, 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 boom.
The only ones that aren't January are...
So then you got September 19th, which is Iota Phi Theta.
Iota Alpha.
November 12th is Sigma Gamma Rho. November 17th is Omega Psi Phi. Mm-hmm. And December 4th is Alpha Phi Alpha.
It was a cold day in December.
It was ice cold day.
Ice cold.
It's funny because they claim to be first, but they last on Founders Day.
But I mean, in the year, all of them, right?
Whatever.
Technically,
well, no, I ain't gonna go that far. But
we're not throwing shit on this podcast.
Yeah, man. Shout out to all my Greeks out there, though.
Yes, January's a busy month.
Nah, but seriously though, look, this is 2023. I know people doing some new things and all that. But yeah, just put becoming back active on your list.
On your to-do list.
Yeah, because I mean, I promise you, it's gonna benefit you more than you not being active.
Yeah. Before the pandemic, when I was on the Pretty Young Soror committee, I suggested that we partner with the Alphas and the Kappas and Omegas and all the other Greek organizations that have young members and like throw a like party, not a party, like, but a mixer in case people moved and they don't know where to join or they're looking to join again. But of course, the pandemic happened and everything got shut down. But I do want to revisit that idea.
Yeah. Like,
I think that's something the Hendersonville Alumni Chapter would be.
There should be like a young alumni council.
Oh, can we make that within MPHC?
Damn near.
Yeah, you're on board.
Yeah.
Okay, Garrison, we have our work cut out for this year. I really do want to do something like in June and invite people.
Like the age is going to be like 35 and under.
40
and under. 40
under. And I think that will be great because you have people that moved here that may not know that want to get back active. Or just may be great to just meet people in your perspective orgs. I think, we should plan that.
Yeah. But anywho.
Okay, y'all. Be on the lookout for that in the summer because it's happening.
Yep.
Because we're all about putting things out in the atmosphere. It's going to happen.
Yep.
And me and Garrison's names are going to be on it.
Oh, yeah.
And our chapter's names are going to be, oh my God, that would be so dope. Wouldn't that be dope? So if you are in another org that's, we're not, obviously you're not, you're an AK or you're a Kappa and you think that's a dope idea, hit us up because I definitely want to do this. I think that would be dope.
Yeah. Have
a DJ. Oh, yeah. It'll be kind of like a mixer and you buy tickets because we're going to fundraise.
Yeah. You gotta be worthwhile.
Yeah, and I don't know, we donate to NPHC or back to school drive, bring school supplies or bring money for tickets. Well, we'll come together, but I think that'll be great because Nashville is like growing. There are hella people here that are Greek that may be looking to get active and they just don't know where to start.
Yeah, and also that's the beauty of like alumni chapters that you get other undergrads. Like we got somebody in our chapter from ZK Mob, which is UT Martin. We got somebody from Alabama State. You know, it's like...
Oh, yeah. Someone just came in for Louisville in our chapter. And she moved here to be closer to family. So I'm just like super excited to get to know her.
It's just dope to, just interact with other people.
Yeah. And so honestly, like, I want to put my money where my mouth is and be like, I called you out. And now it's your turn to like hold me accountable for planning this event for the summer. Because I know I talked mad crap. I'm sorry. Or am I? But okay, Garrison's telling me to wrap it up. So yes, I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is and say this event is going to happen somehow this year, and I really want to meet you guys and talk about being active and like so I can show you the benefits of it. Yeah. Oh my God, Garrison, did we just plan an event? Yeah. In like 4 minutes? Did I just plan an event and force you to help me? Yes. Yeah. Are you gonna help me? Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Until next time.
Yes, until next time.
We out. Happy J5 to the noobs. Yo, yo. We out.
I can't say J15 anymore. Corporate says that's not.
Shut up.
Happy January 15th, Founders Day. No, I'm serious.
Y'all so lame. Y'all
no,
killing
they took J15 from us. We can't wear it. We can't say J15 on socials. It's no longer J15. It's January 15th, 19.
All right, but anywho, on that note, we out.
Bye.
Peace.
It's been fun.
But I can't stop this pimping. I just can't stop this pimping. But I can't stop this pimping. I just can't stop.